Now, in this episode, we are going to discuss the Shloka 10 and 11 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhishma bhirakshitam. Aparyaptam tadasmakam balam bhasma bhiraksitam paryaptam tvidamitesham balam bhima bhirakshitam. 10. Paryaptam tividamitasam balam bhima bhiraksitam. Duryodhana says that the strength of his army protected by Bhishma is unlimited or immeasurable, while the strength of the Pandava army protected by Bhima is limited or sufficient. On the surface, Duryodhana is expressing confidence in his army and declaring superiority. But the deeper layer shows contradiction. He has just spent several verses describing the strength of the Pandava side in detail, and suddenly he claims his own army is unlimited. This reveals an inner imbalance. The statement is not coming from calm confidence, but from a need to assert dominance after mentally feeling the weight of the opponent. The use of words like unlimited and limited is not a factual assessment, but a defensive projection. This verse shows a mind trying to cover inner doubt with strong language. When a person internally feels that the opponent is powerful, the ego often reacts by overstating its own strength. The comparison is not objective. It is emotional. The mind swings from careful observation of the rival to exaggerated self-assurance. This is a common human reaction. When you feel challenged, you may first become aware of the other side's capability and then immediately try to reassure yourself by declaring your own superiority, even if internally you are not fully convinced. This creates a gap between what is spoken and what is felt. Message: this verse teaches you to observe the difference between real confidence and forced confidence. When you are truly stable, you do not need to exaggerate your strength or diminish others. If you find yourself speaking in extremes about your own capability or about someone else being weaker, it often indicates inner insecurity. The right approach is balanced assessment. Accept the strength of the situation, and then prepare yourself with clarity instead of reacting through ego-driven statements. Shloka 11. Ayaneshu cha sarveshu yatha bhagam avasthitah. Ayanesu ka sarvesu yatha bhagam avasthita. Bhishmameva bhirakshantu bhavantah sarva eva hi. 11. Bhasmameva bhiraksantu bhavantah sarva eva. Duryodhana instructs all warriors to remain properly positioned in their respective strategic places and to especially protect Bhishma from all sides. Bhishma is the strongest pillar of the Kaurava army. By specifically instructing everyone to protect him, Duryodhana reveals that he knows the entire strength of his side depends heavily on Bhishma. This is not just a tactical instruction. It is an indirect admission that if Bhishma weakens or falls, the entire structure of the Kaurava army becomes vulnerable. So while he claims unlimited strength in the previous verse, here he shows dependence on a single key figure. This verse reflects dependence and underlying insecurity. When a person's confidence is tied to one major support, there is always a hidden fear of losing that support. Duryodhana's instruction shows that he is aware of where his real strength lies, and therefore he becomes protective and cautious around it. In human life also, when your stability depends on one person, one position, one source of income, or one relationship, your mind becomes guarded and protective. You start organizing everything around, preserving that one support. This creates internal tension because the mind knows that losing that pillar will disturb everything. Duryodhana's instruction to protect Bhishma from all sides is not merely a battlefield arrangement. It reflects a deeper strategic and psychological layer. According to Shloka, Baladeva Vidyabhushana, Duryodhana is consciously trying to ensure that Drona does not become indifferent or disengaged. He understands that even a slight withdrawal of attention from Drona could weaken his position. Therefore, his words carry a hidden urgency. By emphasizing strategic placement and the need to protect Bhishma, Duryodhana is indirectly revealing that the entire strength of his army rests heavily on Bhishma's presence. If Bhishma remains secure and active, victory seems possible. If he is exposed or weakened, the foundation shakes. There is also a subtle moral undertone. Duryodhana recalls internally that both Bhishma and Drona had remained silent during the injustice done to Draupadi. This silence, in his mind, confirms their alignment with him, even if not openly expressed. So his instruction carries an expectation. They are bound to support him because they have already allowed his path to continue earlier. Psychologically, this verse shows a mind that depends strongly on key figures, while trying to control the situation through careful instruction. It reflects a blend of dependence, calculation, and underlying insecurity. For present life, the message is clear. When your stability depends on a few pillars, you become overly protective and anxious about them. True strength comes when your foundation is wider and not concentrated in one or two supports. At the same time, past compromises in values often bind people into future expectations and dependencies. This verse teaches you not to build your entire strength around a single point of dependence. Real stability comes when strength is distributed across multiple areas: skills, relationships, discipline, and inner clarity. If your confidence rests only on one person or one situation, fear will always remain in the background. The right approach is to strengthen your foundation broadly so that your balance does not collapse if one support changes.